Hello, thank you for attending. We'll be conducting a very simple but very powerful exercise regarding uploading new data. How are we going to upload new data into the Alana server, and for us to access it and develop our workflows and automate everything that we want in order to make our work a bit more useful. We in past session we already covered these important fundamental libraries. The provide authentication video will be updated soon because, as Alejandro said, we're moving towards tokenized tokenized workflow here in Jupyter instead of the username and password. But aside of that, the API keeps growing. It's very kind of very self-intuitive session. But so let's move on. We're going to create this new posting information. And as we said, we kind of covered in previous session, we can access several attributes or several things from the API. In this case, I'm going to check for example, field master dict. If I just press this keyword tab, it's going to suggest you or kind of give you autocomplete if there's only one element. I'm going to check for the field master dict in this case. And for example, here we have two fields in the open server, the server that you have access to. You have both, or in this case, the field A. We're going to create a new one. Okay, let's go and check for the documentation or the string doc of these the next API or the next function. Create, and here it says we have like three principal function. With the first word create, we either can create a well master, a formation master, or a field. In this case, we're going to start with we are going to create a field master. And this function has several arguments. We can consult them and we can check for them if we press Shift and Tab. The docstring, it says the function that create fields. Excellent. And the arguments goes as follows: field name, comment, country, basing, or block. We are going to copy here this dictionary, this Python dictionary, and we're going to create a variable called dict. I usually first call the element or the data type. So it's going to say dict field equals this dictionary, and we're going to fill the information with the proper information regarding the new field. In this case, it's going to be field, for example, field B. We're going to testing uploader. The country, I'm in Mexico, so let's put it Mexico. Basing, let's put just like test. Basin, the block. This is information whenever you're in a project. All this information will be provided by the company, or we know the real information, right? In this case, I'm going to add a new element. In this case, the scope, because we're talking about the public scope. This is a very an open server, so it's going to be public. In this case, we run it, this variable is stored, and just we are going to pass this new variable into the API or the function, and the function will do as its function, and it will create. In this case, it's going to give us the status, in this case 201, which means it's created successfully, and it will give us, in this case, several information. When was this created? If it's an updated, and the comments and the things that we add in the dictionary as well. But I mean, we can post fields. We can keep posting new things. In this case, I'm just going to add another element here. This is going to be updated into the documentation for you guys to check it out. I'm going to create a new we're going to create a formation in this time. Markdown, there you go. And for example, here we can access to the myAPI.master because we are checking the preloaded variables. We're going to check for the field master_dict. Let's see what fields are on the server. In this case, we have both and field A. There's a function in myAPI dot create formation master, which if we consult the docstring, it says the function that create formations. And the arguments are as follows. In this case, comment this dictionary. I'm going to create a new dictionary called dict formation equals this. In this case, formation, it's going to be formation B. The comment test uploader. And okay, let's print this. And we are going to use the create formation master function. We are going to pass this dictionary and we are going to execute it. And thankfully, it will give us a status created. But what happens if for some reason your request is bad? Your dictionary is with a different data type or something like in that regard. It will give you, in this case, the API, it will give you the status as a 400, a bad request. This means that something went wrong. What went wrong? Well, the API gives you a sense of what happened. Well, in this case, an author, an element in the dictionary was missing. In this case, this field is required. So for you to have a good request, just add the missing property or the missing key. In this case, the author, it's going to be myself, L. Navarro. This is going to be the author, and we're going to, there you go. We execute the function and the status 201, which corresponds with the created successfully. And the API gives us the appropriate or the properties that we gave and that we uploaded to Alana. In this case, we're going to keep adding new things. Let's see what happens if I want to add a well. Let's add a new marker, a new markdown. There you go. The well. Well, we remind that we have in the memory, the master, we have the well master or the well master dict. If we execute it, we can see that we have several wells. And let's add another one. Let's add the well A, well B in this case. So there's a function in the API, in my API object, called create well master. If we execute it and we consult the docstring, it says, well, the arguments that you need in order for this API or for this function to work, you need this. We copy them and we are going to add it into a new variable called dict well. Is equal to this dictionary. Okay, excellent. So here, for example, it says well name, it's going to be well B. The spot date, I'm just going to take, for example, this date. and this, as this is just an example, we're going to kind of add some dummy data in this case. The API, well, this is, we don't need this. In this case, this is not a real example. So we don't have an API code. The latitude we cannot, for example, here it says it has a float data type. So let's add, I don't know, 99.8, 99.2. This longitude as well, 99.8. In this case, the UTM X and Y, we're not going to need it. So I'm just, for the sake of this exercise, put it like as none, as well as the UTM in Y, and it's going to be a test uploader. As the comment, the type of well, it could be appraisal, it could be of production or injection. So I'm going to call it production type well. The field, well, this well goes into a field. So we previously created a field called field B. In this case, I'm going to go and copy the field that we created, and I'm going to add it as the string as it is required. We store that dictionary. It says, yeah, I forgot a little comma here. There you go. Execute it as well. There you go. Dict well is stored in memory. And for the create well master function, I'm just going to pass on the dict well. And let's see what the API responds. It says, well master, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's a little issue here, which I'm working on. I just need, I'm going to reset kind of the API, the instances, the memory that it's stored in memory, and do this again. And there's yeah, we need a formation. The docstring doesn't have a formation variable, so I'm going to add a formation here, which is going to be formation B, which I previously created here in formation, right? Formation B. Let's, there you go. I forgot the comma. There you go. And dict well, there you go. It successfully created the new well with these properties. Formation is, in this case, the foreign key that for the database, as well as the field key. But I think that you guys get the idea of how easy, or how can we keep automating this process of uploading data into Alana. I can do as well the exercise for the daily production, for the monthly production. So just for the sake of the exercise, monthly production data. There you go. In this case, I'm going to use, I think we have two chats. Yes. In this case, I'm going to copy a previously done exercise. Just give me just 1 second. I'm going to copy this for, there you go, and we're going to paste it here. There you go. I'll paste them, and I'm going to explain you guys what these lines of codes are doing. In this case, we're going to use another libraries, in this case, Datetime and NumPy. For what? Because we're going to give, or we are going to create synthetic data. We're going to give a date of start, in this case 2022, the 1st of January, and we're going to give a date and date for the in this case for Python to fill up the gaps between the start date and the end date. In this case, we're going to add 5 years. The time delta, it's going to be 5 times 365, which is going to be 5 years. So I'm going to run this. Start date is not defined. Interest. Yes. This goes here. There you go. We're going to add, as Alejandro said, when the import or the uploader requires several specific columns for it to work properly. In this case, we're going to need the date, the oil rate, the water rate, the gas rate, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to create those columns as a list, as such. And I'm going to create an empty DF monthly data frame. Let's see it, just for this sake. If we run it, this is an empty data frame, but it has the appropriate columns, right? And now I'm going to fill those empty cells, that empty data frame with random data, right? I'm going to add the dates in a date range, the starting and the end date, and the frequency in the months. I'm going to create the WellFK ID, or the well column for the database. It's going to look for the well B in this case. And I'm going to fill the rest of the data with random values. That goes, for example, the oil rate will go from 100 to 1000. And the length will be the length of the dates series, and the cumulatives with the cumulatives of those random oil rates, water rates, and so on. I'm going to start date is not fine. Sorry for that. Start date. I added this new things. Dates is not fine. Give me just 1 second. Dates. This is interesting. This is going to be the length of DF monthly. Epa. Give me just 1 second, guys. There you go. And there you go. If we check for that DF monthly data frame, there you go. We have successfully created a data frame, and in order for us to upload it, we are going to use a function called myAPI import data source. This import data source requires a table. In this case, it's going to be the well volume monthly table, and it requires a data frame, in this case DF underscore monthly, and it requires if it's new data, or it's going to be an updated, or it's going to be an not true new data. In this case is new data. It's going to be true. There you go. And let's run it and upload it. There you go, file uploaded. And the response is 201, which means success, status success. So if we go now into the Alana open, let's go into home. Herein, we created a new field, right? The field B. Here, as you can see, we have the field B. I mean, we updated the production of a well, right? So here we have the well B, and the cumulatives and all the data that I synthetically created is right here, with the properties that I said, that goes from 100 to 1000. There you go. the cumulatives, and so on. So as you can see, guys, uploading data, new data to Alana, can be pretty simple with the powerful API, the script that we're developing. It's quite simple, and we can keep automating. We have already uploaded new data. We can develop the workflows that we previously saw in the sessions of last week, and so on. And we can keep on creating new things, and we can keep creating new workflows with Python and Alana. So I think that would be all from my side.
Fantastic. So imagine now that you have many more wells that you want to upload, and you can make a loop through the wells and upload the data, and everything will be in the front end. And as we have seen also in the past, even if you don't have the dashboards that you need in the website, you can build your own dashboards in Python by requesting for the well production data and the field production data that you already uploaded. So that is quite intuitive to do. Any questions so far? Just remember that this is dummy data. That's why it looks scattered, but it's just an illustration of how easy it is to reproduce these workflows from Python, and the value of having those already in the display as soon as you finish.